We are live.
Assalamu alaikum, adab, sanin tamamen wichan walen shusun istiqbal, pur pend online family hin tarfe istiqbal, ashu umid tu esu khursan tans Eid as asal paitan roosmas. Als she is beit in this khazmatas mas hazir, magar gap roos ek haftach, patim yus Eid und hafte os, tat paitan korna is program ki, although program os is nishan tayar, magar ki masail rood yit ke es basho un munasib tam saatan pat su program run karun ki, umid shi inshallah tim hi tit programs karo is dubar run futures mazan. Mankenas yusestu vichanchu ki prone you session o so assess iktisadiyat ya economics aspect and economy catches sign. The tatmazam te assess continuously yuhi vanmut ki yishit tita board tita vasi subject ya petna ekis panel ya ekis session mazan hek insaf gasit ki ta aspect 10 is multiple panels karin. तो सोई वाद को रेस पूरा आज शेष आमित ब्याक पैनल है पतिम यू सेशन ओस तथ मज ओस थोड़ा सा नजर थमस यथ इस वरान छ माइक्रो इकोनॉमिक सिचुएशन कि युस विकनच इक्तिसादी या माशी हालात छ तो युस अक कॉमन वर्कर छ अक ड्राइवर छ या हाउस बोट वोल छ या कॉमन अक दुकानदार छ सु क्या फील करान तिमे इस पैनलस पेटन इन कि तिहंस घरेलू हालात क्या छ विकनस ग्राउंडस पेटन तिम कित कन छ निपटान अत सतन वे आउट्स क्या छ तो तम मजीद ज्यादा ओस तम सातन थर्मस फोकस कि टूरिज्म तो यम एलाइड इंडस्ट्रीज तथ पे करो इस फोकस क्योंकि तिमो ओस डायरेक्ट ब्रांड तमिक रोटमुत 5 अगस्त युस लॉकडाउन को तम पत अजुक युस सोन फोकस आसे सो आसे इंशाल्लाह मैक्रो इकोनॉमिक सिचुएशन कि युस एट लार्ज विशो साने सोसाइटी हन साने कशीर हन युस माशी या इक्तिसादी हालत छ सुकोत छ बसमस इस कत हालतस मजन छ विकनस क्या इस हेकवा इम हालत मजन नीरित पाने अगर इस अख बेकिस पल्जो इस हेकवा अमिक सामना करित तथ चीजस पे करो इस कत इंशाल्लाह तो सन मेहमान खसूसी तथी फील्डस मुतलिक यम अत सतन वाबस्त यमन अत चीजस पे नजर तो अस करन तथ चीजस पे एजुकेट फर्दर तो अत पे करन फर्दर थोड़ा सा ब्रीफ ताहिर साहब तो बेदिन यम इंट्रोडक्शन तो यम सन मेहमान यम पैनलिस्ट तिहंदिस बारस मज
शुक्रिया तौसीफ साहब फिर तौसीफ वनान कि इक्तिसादियात वारिया वसी सब्जेक्ट हेक पूरे पे कर कवर गोनिकस प्रोग्रामस मज कह इसलिए अजुक प्रोग्राम आज मदु कर्मत 3 खास मेहमान यम कश्मीर इकोनॉमी से रिलेटेड या यमन एक्सपर्टीज फील्डस पे गोड़े डॉक्टर मुबीन शाह इत पे तुम पाए सरकर्द बिजनेसमैन ही इज मलेशिया बेस्ड एंड he was president of Kashmir Chamber of Commerce and Industries and also president of Jammu and Kashmir Joint Chamber of Commerce and Industries. Tam mazid che Asid Abdul Rauf Trambusa yum che Khyber Group of Industries, Khyber Group of Companies CEO. The yum che bird sarkar the businessman Kashirin. Tam alaw che Asid Mr. Izhan che University of Manchester per food supply chain management masters kormut yimon cold storage food supply chain storage chalan kashir maz yim young entrepreneur kashir pet so yim tren mehman karan asid ka macroeconomics aspect of Kashmiri economy yos chasi te which is vasi wanji yiman इस्तेकबाल करान पन्निस प्रोग्रामस पे बड़ शुक्रगुजार कि तुम कोड़ू टाइम पन्न फ्रेशेस्ट टाइम कत कर खतर we look forward to a very fruitful discussion on Kashmir's economy and I'm very sure that our viewers will be really thankful to your expertise and your advices and recommendations. Without further ado, I now turn to Tawsif to start the program and yeah, let's go.
Thanks a lot, Tahir. So, बिल्कुल इतकंती वनान है सो एजुक सेशन तो वारिया ज़्यादा अहम तो यम एस पैनलिस्ट तिम तो वारिया इंशाल्लाह अहम एस खतर जो जिनसे हमें पूरी उम्मीद है कि तिम दिन एस तिथ मशवर तिथ ओपिनियंस यम सित इंसान सोसाइटी इंशाल्लाह फ़ायदा वात स्पेशली माशी हिसाबस मज या इक्तिसादी हिसाबस मजन या थोड़ा सा इन डेप्थ एजुक सेशन इंशाल्लाह तो वक्त कम इसीलिए स्ट्रेट अवे वाद बह क्वेश्चन करने खतर गोडनुक सवाल आस मुबीन साहबस थोड़ा सा जनरल सवाल सानिन यम ति वचन वल या युस अक आम कोशुर छ तमिस किथ कन तर फिक्र कि ये इक्तिसादियात या माशियत युस सानि सोसाइटी हंस छ सु कचा अहम छ सनिस सर्वाइवलस खतर स्पेशली अगर इस वंकन कन हालातन कुन नजर त्रावो ये क्या शीचा अहम बनान एस खतर या सनिस सर्वाइवलस खतर क्या शीचा अहम बनान ये चीज
एक्चुअली जब आप देखेंगे इस वक्त कि in Kashmir, because we are not only facing a lockdown because of COVID, but we are locked down within a lockdown because of August 5th. And you have to take the economy of Kashmir in perspective. Right perspective is that, from 1990, actually, to tell you very frankly, because it has ripple effect right up to now. It has gone from one generation to the next generation, now the third generation. If you take 1990 as a base, if not 1947, because 1990 से ही ये हमारे को अब वर्ल्ड को पता चल रहा है लॉकडाउन क्या है. हम तो 1990 से देख रहे हैं. So there is when I was president of the chamber, so we had sort of calculated it something like 2,500 days till now. 2005, now it must be almost 3,000 days in the last 30 years. तो इसका effect तो है first generation, second generation, third generation का. And losses कितने हैं? अब present chamber has calculated for 100 days, 10,000 crores. Then you can understand कि 3,000 दिन के लिए उसको आप multiply कर लीजिए. You will accordingly find out it will be 3 lakh to 4 lakh crore of amount of money which we have lost. And it is reflected, to tell you very frankly, because I have been in business from 1980s, and it is reflected that one generation of our business has become bankrupt. Then the second generation has restarted it. Now the third generation is facing a bankruptcy. See, this is what is our present situation in Kashmir, because I know I have been completely in touch with everything, although I have been 6 months in Malaysia, 6 months in Srinagar. And this is one part of it. Now, how to go out of it is, either if you want me to tell at this point of time, I can give us in a nutshell that self-reliance, yes, but it's very important that, I wrote a paper when in 2016, when, Hamare Burhan Sahab, he was killed and martyred. And at that time, there was a complete lockdown. And I wrote a paper in Rising Kashmir, Transitional Economics. What is needed to be done for the economics in these type of lockdowns? And I covered almost all the sectors in that. And in the sectors, for example, you have to, first of all, Kashmiris have to take into account during in lockdowns particularly, which we are going to face. We are going to face this. If somebody tells me tomorrow the situation in Kashmir will become all right, I will not believe it, because it is going to continue. So you have to be prepared. We have to prepare our people that they have to work the economy in the lockdowns. And the lockdowns, and particularly you have to take care of your needs for living, first of all. For example, your staple food, your rice, maize, and also your vegetables. I had made in that detailed presentation that I had made, that how even in lockdowns we can take care of that. And for example, milk, Mr. Roof is there, but at the same time, all these things, first and foremost is you have to give food security to the people, food security particularly during lockdowns. And in that there will be opportunities, economic opportunities also at the same time. This is where we have to be very, very, it is a very good thing you have started this, we are discussing this thing, because this is a sort of forum where we could educate our people, although we wrote, in a newspaper, but this is more better communication, that what is needed and what is the potential. I am telling you, in spite of all this, we have our potential. We never should be pessimistic about it. We should be able to come out of it in a very, very good way. And I once you go on discussing, I can, after the first round, talk about that part of it.
Thank you so much, Mubin Saab, for this very optimistic, final note on that. So now turning to Abdul Rauf Trambu Saab. Rauf Saab, आपसे मैं सिर्फ इस टाइम पहला सवाल जो मेरा होगा वो जो हमारी करंट इकोनॉमिक सिचुएशन उससे रिलेटेड है. आप हमें एक ये जनरल पिक्चर बताइए, अभी की जो हालात है हमारी इकोनॉमी की, वो क्या है? क्योंकि आप इस पे नज़र रखते हैं और आपके पास मतलब पूरे स्टैटिस्टिक्स होंगे या बाकी चीज़ होंगे, तो अपने व्यूअर्स को आप बताइए कि क्या करंट सिचुएशन है, और जितने भी रिलेवेंट डेटा है वो प्लीज शेयर करिए।
Whatever
especially
picture
regarding
Dr.
trade and
has,
industries.
yeah, yeah. Whatever picture Dr. Saab has given, I fully agree with that. At this time, talking about economy, economy position, our economy is totally in a mess, which was surprised. It is our resilience that we are surviving. And to have this, at this time, talking about economy is not a question. It is just talking about survival. We have to survive. And that is our economy. If we are able to survive through all this lockdown, are able to produce our food security is good, we can do much better. But for the short term, at micro level, we have to survive, at least for the next 2-3 years, because of this COVID and whatever disturbances we are going to face. That is there. Uske baad once we sustain all this economic slow down and all that, after that we can recoup and grow. At this time, economy is in a it's in a mess. It's in a mess. Whatever was, Dr. Saab jo 90s ka bola, 90s se to hum bilkul downward trend hi dekh rahe hain. And I think we have reached a very low ebb. That is what it is all about economy at this time. This time everybody is trying to survive. There is no economy as such.
रऊफ साहब, यहाँ पर मैं एक एडिशनल सवाल आपसे पूछूंगा. You talked about survival. तो ये survival तथ हालतस मजन ये ते एक सोसाइटी हंस अगर इस कथ करो कि majority of the people यम trade, agriculture या तथ सितन जुड़ित इस पे में एक वेरी पे छन तिमो काम करमच कहीं. Savings यीचह ते अस तिम गई खत्म वंकनस. तो like काफी लोग ऐसे यमन राशन छ दुन पेवान. यथिस मजन like तिम फायर फाइटिंग मेजर्स क्या आसन के हेको सर्वाइव करित. इमदाद बगैर अगर अस अख गर वोल सर्वाइव करना हुन कि तमिस गोस बत पकुन चलिए माज खेन कि हाकसी पे दोन वक्तन खेन कि एकसी वक्तस मगर इमदाद गोस न रटुन कि 10,000 मजन अगर अस वुचो गर अगर अस 5,000 गर हेको बनैत अथ काबिल सो सर्वाइवल अगर अस वुचो वरियस छ करुन दोन वरियन छ करुन करताम अस खुदायस मंजूर सो किथ खेन करो अस वंकनस तथ खतर क्या छु तुय वनान.
There was a time during these disturbances when we launched a program. We had a plan that we should make one a house, a village house, a unit should become economically viable. उसपे हमने एक छोटा सा pamphlet भी निकाला था जहाँ पे हमने बोला था instead of coming out for flowers, let's put a vegetable garden. Let's have a goat or if not a cow, a goat at least, so that we could get milk. No, like that we had made a small program which we were propagating everywhere. As a matter of fact, there were a lot of NGOs who were not giving out food, who were giving out seeds. Instead of giving out food, they were giving out vegetable seeds. They were giving out other seeds so that we could cultivate our own food. That was a time. I think we'll have to go in the same way. Especially we'll have to concentrate on the villages. The micro level we'll have to concentrate on, because there was a trend that our food used to come from villages. Then it shifted. In good old times, we used to get all the poultry in the form of ducks, geese, poultry, eggs we used to get from villages. Then things started going the opposite way. These things started going from the city to the villages. We have to again come back that villages have to produce this and sustain the cities. That way it has to come up. And we have to diversify. We have to add products. We have to go into honey. We have to go into silk. Even in traditional industries, which we can do in our house. One very important sector was the handicraft. I consider the handicraft industry as the best example ever of skill development. The sort of skill development that was done when handicraft was introduced into Kashmir, it was marvelous. It sustained us till now. It is still sustaining us. In the lockdown, and our handicraft production is going up. I'm not into handicraft trade, so I don't have a good view. I think Dr. Saab will give you a very good perspective of the handicraft trade. But my thing is that it sustained our economy. Agriculture, horticulture, handicraft, they sustained our economy all this time. Our tourism was finished. Our industry was somewhat in the last breath. But then these sectors are our USPs, and these sectors need to be strengthened. And we have to come back. Jaise aapne bola ki bhai jo backward startups hain, we need to help them. हमारे जो शॉल इंडस्ट्री है, हमारे जो हैंडीक्राफ्ट इंडस्ट्री है, जो हमारे ट्रेडर्स बाहर हैं फॉरेन कंट्रीज में, we really need to help them.
बिल्कुल
That is the way funds will come in and the economy will sustain.
तथ इशूस पे यमो क्योंकि तथ पे वारिया डिटेल कत कर अलबत्ता यथ वन कशर पे गूज या क्रक्स क्या द्राव वनक तुम वोनू सह यह कि थोड़ा पन्नी कॉटेज इंडस्ट्रीज डेवलप करने जी चीज मे याद ये पे कि अस टनल बंद गने अगर अस हाक 10 रुपये किलो सह 50 रुपये किलो वोतमुत सह वुचान कि कचा रिलायंस बढ़ेम सप्लाइन पे नबर पे ये कि सेल्फ सफिशिएंट तमुक एग्जाम्पल अगर वो 2010 नामसईद हालात या 2010 मज तह वो ये सात पे कंप्लीट लॉकडाउन गामों पे आउटसाइड सिटी पे पे सप्लाईज टाउन एरियाज या सिटी एरियाज या डाउन टाउन पे तत पे सप्लाईज सब्जी फल मेव बाकी कुन नत कुन जाए सुई कॉटेज इंडस्ट्री थोड़ा सा तथ पे फोकस कर ज्यादा जरूरत तथ पे दिमो कि क्या गो पथ तो इजहान कुन गस बह
मुबिन सबस शायद सवाल
okay sorry you'll have to unmute.
Yeah, I wanted to add on to what Rufsab said, that, because the document I prepared in 2016 was on the same lines, that, you have to, grow vegetables, not only in villages, but in urban areas also, because हमारे को जो अर्बन में आप देखें कि 2 टाइप के हैं, एक है डाउनटाउन एंड अपटाउन. अपटाउन में उनको गार्डन्स हैं, and uptown में they can make vegetables, as a grow within their houses or whatever it is. And even uptown, there's a possibility, but you have to use some technology, that is hydroponics, that they can develop within the downtown also. Vegetables can be grown, and that will make us self-reliant in vegetables, number one, because that is going to be very important, and we have to do it, number one. Number two is this thing, जो रूफ साहब ने कहा कि village as a unit. I will go further down, and we had written at that time that it should be the Baitul Mals in each masjid, in each mohalla. That should be basically the place from where everything should move. It should not be only a place for praying and all, but also to take care of the people within that locality, whether it is for education, whether it is for this type of for example handicrafts. Handicrafts is one sector which made us survive in the 1990s. It made us survive because if you are confined to the houses, maximum production came out. Fortunately for us, at that point of time, the international market was very good for our handicrafts, particularly for our carpets, for our shawls. Unfortunately, for the last 1 or 2 years, the international market has gone down. So this is where we need to now change that. But we have to go high value added. High value added means, in handicraft, let us say, for example, carpets. Carpets, if हमारे जो लोग हैं जो उस इंडस्ट्री में हैं, they will remember long time back we used to make. There are in the British Museum. You are from, you are there. You can see in the British Museum. There are carpets made of pashmina wool. Pashmina wool. We have to go value added now. We have to go something very exclusive in that handicrafts. So that we are different than other carpet manufacturers, whether it is in Iran, whether it is in Turkey, whether it is in China. Because our biggest competitor now is China. They are undercutting our prices completely. And now we cannot compete with them. Because our labor cost is higher. And, we can compete on the higher side. For example, Turkey, their cost of carpet is very high, of the very fine quality. So that means branding. That means handicrafts can go, but you have to change it now. You cannot make mass production. You have to go for the higher quality one. So this is where you have to change. This is where the opportunity will be, that you have to create now a new brand awareness from the start, from the person who is manufacturing it. Finally, it will come to the marketing. The same thing in the shawl. In the shawl, you see, you have if you are going to be confined to the houses, you have to go for the high quality shawls, where, you have to understand, the Kashmiri people do not understand that we have got only 2% or 1% of the Pashmina production in the world. Only 2%. 98% is controlled by China and Mongolia. You can understand we are nothing in comparison. So how much is the scope? And if I market here shawl, or I market anywhere in the world, it is marketed on the name of Kashmir. It is not marketed on the name of, wherever you go, in wherever international market you go, Kashmir. So we have an opportunity. You increase the production, you increase and quality. The most important thing is quality in that particular product. Because we did have, when I was the president, we did advocate, and there was a laboratory which was created, wherein the testing was done. We wanted that to be 100%. 100%, so that it is guaranteed that the customer will get actual Pashmina, 100% Pashmina. That has to be ensured. That has to be brought into the minds of every manufacturer, every Kashmiri, that we want quality. We want quality, then only we will be able to survive now in the handicrafts. And I tell you, price is no problem. There will be customers, because we have a very low base of quantity. So low base should be of quality. We will get that price. We will get what we are presently getting. We have, because I have marketed these products, we have marketed at a very high price, provided we are the right actual quality one. So this is very important. That is why I said there is opportunity also in this thing, provided we change our concept, our thinking about all this. This is very important. That is why I wanted to intervene in this particular handicrafts particularly.
बिल्कुल very true. और handicrafts इस खतर वारिया ज़्यादा ज़रूरी. तो quality पे अच्छे focus करूँ अगर इस world competition इस मज़न रोज़न. Absolutely बे इतने तो वनान इस ये Kashmir image किसा value शु for example अगर इस European market in बात करो England या larger Europe. Touch gasan sell, the name Kashmir in itself sells. तो अगर इस सोई quality है को बरकरार थे तच चीज़ पे है को step in करे. यम ते ऐसे अच्छे दिन जुड़े चे Pashmina या शाहतूस या कनी काम यम करान या handicrafts. Total अगर इस तथी quality पैटर्न करो पानुन पान focus करो तो इंशाल्लाह ऐसे को ताफ़मस compete करे. ये दिन निम्ब थोड़ा सा digression बकर
I'll just interject here. Total market of Pashmina in the world is $40 billion. Huh? 40 billion.
Which is huge.
$40 billion. Imagine only Pashmina. And 98% of that is controlled by China and Mongolia. 99%. The total production, I have the data, is 12,000 tons. And we are making only 70 tons. 70. 12,000 tons. These two countries make 12,000 tons. It has to be taken into that perception. Because we Kashmiris, I know when I am in Kashmir, I feel buyochus manufacturers, but yes, we have to aim for this $40 billion. Even if we take 5% of that, it will be good enough for us.
So Athmazan she a positive message, the silver lining is ki potential shu Athmazan varia, market she emik varia, the future tish varia. So when you
Exactly. This is what I was. That is why I am optimistic about Kashmir. That is why.
Ji Rosa. Ji Rosa.
Doctor Sahab.
Janab.
Are you able to get me up? The possibility of rearing Pashmina goats to increase Pashmina production. What do you think about that?
Because what I will just give you an insight, because people should know this thing. That Pashmina goat, yes, Kargil was, they had tried in Kargil. But I don't know because now it has become a separate territory. I don't know where we'll get it. But besides that, we have to grade that Pashmina also. There is you are a technical person also. And a lot of people will be also hearing who are technical people. It is the microns.
Yeah.
The Pashmina fiber is based on microns. Okay. The Kashmiri Pashmina has an advantage that it is right from 6 microns to 16 microns. Whereas the Chinese one is about 12 microns. So if we grade that microns from 6 to 12, we have a very high value. This is my point. But nobody is doing that in Kashmir at present. And I don't know, because you are in the field of, in that field that you can rear sheep and these goats. And I don't know in what areas, maybe that within Kashmir Valley, we could do it.
Okay. We could ask the agriculture industry to look into that, and let's see what they have. Okay, please continue.
Exactly.
Yeah, so thank you so much for these really interesting insights into Pashmina trade and all that. Now we will turn to Izahan. Izahan is our young entrepreneur from Kashmir, and इनका जो काम है वो फूड सप्लाई चेन से रिलेटेड है, राइट? सो आप हमें तुम वनतो इस जनरल पिक्चर अगेन टू स्टार्ट ऑफ तो इस कोल्ड स्टोरेज तथ से वाबस्त वनकस कशीर मज कोल्ड स्टोरेज चूंकि ऊंट बोड़ बार प्रोडक्ट पन अस कच कैपेसिटी स्टोरेज कैपेसिटी वन चूंकि पैंडेमिक आव यह खिंचित यह गसित जूठ तस कूत पन्निस प्रोडक्टस कूत खतर अगर ज्यादा लॉकडाउन हेको सप्लाई नबर सूझित कहें अत तनाजुरस मज कूत इम्पोर्टेंट सन कोल्ड स्टोरेज
Goddim Mubin Sab said, and he gave an introduction of handicrafts industry. I would like to give you numbers for our horticultural apple industry, most particularly. We are the world's number 7th largest producer of apples, if you talk about Kashmir. And we produce around 2.3 million tons of apples. And if you look at area under production, we are somewhere between second or third in the world if you talk about area under production. That means our productivity is less and there is a lot of scope for further production, increase in production. You say in industry, Kashmir it's around 10% of the GDP, and around 40% people are related directly or indirectly with the horticulture sector. So use Winkel's scenario to assign industry home. Cold store capacity, it is around 1.5 lakh tons. This Winkel's and cold store capacity. But the problem, pandemic related problem, it is not about, there is a window when we talk about fruit supply chain. There is a window in selling the produce that you have stored. So if we are storing the product, for example, from September to January and start selling in January, then only there is a small window from January to June, July that we can store, where then we can sell the product in the market. So use storage capacity in terms of it is around 5 to 10% right now. But storage life cash fruit, storage life is an apple. If you talk about apple particularly, it's around 5 to 6 months. So for those 6 months, we have good amount of storage capacity for the right product for the right produce. So major problem is in this industry, that is the quality of the produce. The quality of the produce, agar 2.3 million tons of apples, the A grade quality that we say is around only 30%. And for value addition, it is very important for us to store only A grade fruit. This is world scenarios, food security, economic sustainability. Aspect one, I would say that this is a closed loop economy, production to consumption. We have to consider usually we have to consider global competitiveness. As quality, global competitiveness, we are number 7 in terms of production, but still we see that people are liking the red apple that is imported. What is the problem? The problem is that we are not at par in terms of quality and in terms of use of technology that is provided worldwide. Agar aisa closed economy बनाऊं अच्छी production to consumption करें globally competitive. ताकि अगर इस globally competitive रोजो you want product market इसमें गच use producer chu use buyer should be able to buy it economically. He should not, we cannot time ये must never when remit use concept was I would buy a Kashmiri product. I would buy a Kashmiri, anybody would like to buy a Kashmiri product if it is globally competitive. If your quality is better, your prices right there. We should talk in terms of particularly economic issue to focus is lose.
Okay, Izhan, additional सवाल ये थे क्योंकि ये बहुत important है. We can lockdown इच बात करान. एक तो आप मुझे पहले बताएं that where does our Apple stand in the international market? As in कि सुन ये सोच या अंबर शीप को कुछ बातान ये एक चीज है. दूसरी चीज एक technical aspect कि मैं कहना चाहिए which है ये lockdown period है. और when we talk of Apple, ये शिकासान next August या September इसमें सन तैयार. तो ये season तो ये time शासान I believe अच्छी we can इस दवा तो खाद आसान जरूरत. वैकेंस लॉकडाउन तो अगर इस वक्त पे देखा जाए अच्छा वातान सु दवा या खाद सु कुता इम्पैक्ट गसान वो एक चीज है तो एम सितन युसी प्रोडक्ट फाइनली तैयार गसान अगस्त सितंबर तथ कुता इम्पैक्ट पे पछ दयम चीज कि अगस्त सितंबर शिवान वैकेंस प्रेडिक्ट करने की जुलाई अगस्त से कोविडुक पीक टाइम इन दैट पार्ट ऑफ द वर्ल्ड ठीक तो तम सातन कुता इम्पैक्ट पे अथ चीजस तो युस ती वनान छु कि 40% लुक सानि कोमिक यम छु तिम छु directly या indirectly अथ सतन जुड़ित तिमन पे कुता इम्पैक्ट वाते लेबरर छु डीलर छु ब्रोकर छु ट्रांसपोर्टर छु that means अथ छु लछन मस गर यम अथ सतन यम वाबस्त छु तिमन कुता इम्पैक्ट वाते अमुक या पत 5 अगस्त सु अक सिनेरियो ति वन तो युस 5 अगस्त पत लॉकडाउन को तम सतन पे ये प्रोडक्शन या इन चीजों में कोई इम्पैक्ट पड़ा and how much did the people suffer actually who were at least directly related to this thing?
Basically, you saw any product internationally. Internationally, we are not exporting as such. We are exporting to some in very small quantities to Arab countries, but we are selling most of the producers sold domestically, and we market most of the produce domestically. So number second, after this, in this lockdown, we have inputs. We are in the production phase right now. See, basically, use Godnuk lockdown impact road. We are in the growing phase. Use Godnuk lockdown impact road. Of course, it affected the supply chain for inputs of our produce. Sorry, supply chain. Input production, input pre-harvest. The pre-harvest. There are two segments that we divide food supply chain into it is pre and post. So pre-harvest to this time it is of course been affected. Your fungicides, pesticides time to time, and in fact there is almost 40% of the produce has been damaged this year due to scab. So if your 40% of the produce has been damaged, it was of course due to the lockdown. Look, hek ne vaitit panyan bagan mas ke agar look bagan mas hek vaitit. अगर दवा तिमन टाइम पत लेट कोर मगर युस दवाच अवेलेबिलिटी सर्स हिट कहां नेबर नेन खत तैयार यम येत पे नेबर पे दवा वातन छु सु दवा वोत टाइमस पे केन ऑफ कोर्स गो सु अ प्रॉब्लम यूज यम डायरेक्टली इनडायरेक्टली रिलेटेड अस पत यम इट्स अ बिग सप्लाई चेन देयर आर लेबरर्स देयर आर अदर पीपल देयर आर input related supply chains which are involved. There are marketing supply chains which are involved. Obviously, the whole supply chain has taken around 50 to 60% hit. What happened after August 5? Most of the people prefer to store their commodities because they were not able to market them. Time pe harvest nahi ho paya. Then they were not able to market them, hoping that they were put into cold storages and they were hoping that they will get a better price. But as soon as they wanted to market the produce, the market was going fine. If you look at the curve, it was going fine. But then this COVID, it broke the back of the industry because there is no demand. The consumption has been hit. There is no demand in the market. People, if you look, we are not a developed country. We don't. I don't think we consider fruits as an essential in our diet. So we are not a developed country. So what happens is people are looking for essentials, onions, potatoes, vegetables. That is the first preference. So fruit always used to be a luxury if you look at it. So problem gay consumption gay various hit. So the whole supply chain must just value was. Agar 10,000-15,000 crore industry 50% value go wipe off. Time impact of sarni pet. Yun supply chain must just involved. So everybody has been hit.
Thank you, Isan. Tahir se toshu sawal वगैरह का मुबीन से पूछकर you'll have to unmute probably.
Yeah, so मुबीन साहब से मैं सवाल basically उस पर रात विचार कश्मीर लाइफ में ची रिपोर्ट 2009 मज यम साथ 2008 मज तम नामसाइद हालात कश्मीर मज तम पत छो तय शायद recommendations दिसमु तथ मन रंगाराजन report reforms ते कथ करमस बाकी चीजन हंस कथ करमस अख point यस में तजस वुश तथ मन तुय वनान कि perishable item छ सन कि अगर government of India या government in general अगर यस air travel air cargo तथ subsidy करे so इथे कन तुय वारे concrete दितमु तिम recommendations so सवाल छ मियोन ये कि यम तुय तिम comprehensive recommendation छ दिसमस तथ मस कत्या गई मतलब implement या कत्या आई कत्या कामयाबी मिले इस तथ मस
This is the unfortunate part of our our political leadership all along, because I remember when Umar Abdullah came into power, I gave him a 60-page paper on economic revival of Kashmir. 60-page paper. And I can share whoever wants to see that, 60-page. And in that, every sector, because being president of the chamber, we have from every sector people, for example, Roof Saab was also at that time, I think, in the executive committee. And, we have experts from almost all the field, and we call them to the chamber and tell them that, okay, what are your problems? So we prepared this paper, a 60-page paper to the government and gave them that this is what is needed in these different sectors. Unfortunately, they never acted on those. Even the Rangarajan report, they did not do anything about it. We see why, I do not know. Maybe it is for a very specific, that is why we got disillusioned with the political system and disillusioned with the whole thing, because they did not act. They did not act. For example, if you see those documents, it has taken a long time for them to do anything about it. Even today, I think Rusa will also, subscribe to this view that a number of times we have met in the chamber and we have been, पीटना वही मसले वही और यही मतलब ये ऐसे करने का है वो करने का है. This is where they have failed us. The political system has failed us. Our political people, because they were the people who had to decide. We could not decide these things. They had to decide these things, put in initiatives, put in interventions by which our people who are in the business community or these sectors in Wathan Beithod. So that is why I have come to realize now all these years that it is better for ourselves to do something about it. Why? Because we had been hoping that government will do something, they will try to do something about it. I even met the Prime Minister, Mr. Manmohan Singh, twice. And I had almost one-to-one meeting with him for 55 minutes with the Prime Minister. 55 minutes and not discuss nothing except economics. And he was an economic man. He was one of the best economists you can have from India. So my point is one thing, for example, I will give you a very example, which everybody will understand, is let us say, our banking sector. Our banking sector, you have got a deposit base in Kashmir of 80,000 crores. Imagine 80,000 crores. Our JK Bank, when I took over as chamber, my president, we've analyzed there that they are giving 18% only of that in Kashmir. 18% was the credit deposit ratio. And the then chairman, I don't want to name because it doesn't look good, he was considered to be one of the best chairmen of the JK Bank. Yes, he had given it a very good reputation, very good building, very good this thing, but nothing for Kashmir. Huh? Nothing but Kashmir. Let me be very clear and very, that is why people used to be, and I cannot say that they are against me, but they were thinking that because I was telling them that you have not nothing for Kashmir, 18% of the credit deposit ratio. This is where now it has come to the level of 42%. Out of that, how much is Kashmir? We don't, because that time also they were very, very touchy about it. No, we will not give you separate data of Kashmir and Jammu. The maximum deposit was from Kashmir only. And they would give money outside J&K also. Not even to Jammu. They were giving outside J&K. The money was given there. Number one. Number two is this thing that, we have some certain places in Kashmir, like Shupian. You know, the cost of money to JK Bank is zero. Cost of money, because they pay for deposit. When a person deposits some money, because in Shupian sector, Shupian area, these Kashmiris have to understand. In that area, they put their money in CC account. They keep it only for safety, not to earn money because of religious purposes. Okay, majority of them. So the cost of money is 0%. The maximum profit to J&K Bank is from Kashmir. Their cost of money is less than 3% in Kashmir, but they give it outside. Why? And then their top executive would say to us in meetings, where to invest? If we invest in industry, it will become bankrupt because of the situation. Where will we invest? Now, we then analyzed it at that point of time. And two sectors came straight away at that point of time and told them, one is handicrafts and another is our fruit industry. Mr. Izhan may not know this, but I think it is for his information also, and it will be good in future. He will also take care of because he is younger to us and he will come to know. You know, our fruit industry, who is controlling the market in Delhi is the Arthi. It says commission agent who decides your rate of the apple. And it has been happening. I was an 8th class student when I went to market cars to Sopore. We were car dealers in Kashmir. Yeah? So I was selling cars, and in Sopore, people would buy from Delhi cars. When we went there and we talked to them, why you are buying cars from Delhi? They were saying, hey, you're smooth. They did not have, first of all, value of their product. Number second, this commission agent in Delhi was taking this car on credit from the dealer, and he was giving them car full value, and he would pay that dealer for 1 year or 2 years. You see, this is how they would retain their money, the money of the Sopore trader or the fruit grower. And the fruit grower, he did not have any credit from your bank. They would take credit from this dealer, this commission agent. In the same thing with handicraft. Same thing in handicraft. See, that is why when we intervened, for example, we came out with the scheme, Dastakar Finance Scheme. Dastakar Finance, if you see the website of Kashmir, this JK Bank, you will see Dastakar Finance Scheme. They used to previously write designed by KCCI. I think they have dropped that, designed by KCCI. They did not want to give us this thing. But now take that into view. You know how many artisans we had in Kashmir at one point of time? At least 4 lakh people. Today, how many? Not even 20,000 will be there. Why? Because they did not get the finance. And we had devised a scheme, 4 lakh rupees. 4 lakh rupees an artisan will get. He will be owner of the product he makes and sell it according to his own way, not in desperation. Okay? And we told the government, the bank, you please take this credit guarantee fund scheme. You know, credit guarantee fund scheme, Government of India has devised, wherein up to 1 crore, any insurance, any default, the Government of India will pay 85%. You know, JK Bank managers did not even know what is the documentation of that. This is unfortunate. I am not criticizing JK Bank, but I made a speech there with about 500 or 300 of their managers in that big auditorium, and told them that please do this. This is for our benefit of our Kashmiri people, for our basic people, of our artisans. You see, this is where we needed interventions. Yes, they did try, but nothing came out of it. This is the same thing you know, these are the two sectors, they were under financed. Our fruit industry, our handicraft industry in 1990s. Today also it will be the same story, I know for sure. And because this is our problem, you know, this is our problem. This is where our institutions like Chamber and all have to work more and more on this. But these are the problems. These are the problems which we need to correct. We need to correct because, and number one, now if we
Mubin sir,
one minute, sir. No, 1 minute, sir. Self-reliance. If you want to self-reliance, what I would suggest to people like Roof Saab and other people who are younger people and who are big businessmen now in Kashmir, please start a venture capital fund in every district. Exclude the bank completely. This money of 80,000 crores will come into these venture capital funds, and it will be based on profit sharing and not on interest, not on this thing, profit sharing, and it will be good because those same people who are keeping this money in CC account will keep with you and they will get profits. Thank you.
Thank you so very much, Mubin. So we need a special session for this. ये इस चीज़ पे in depth को बात करें क्योंकि आज के topics से वारिया themes से वारिया handicrafts आप shawl आप
too huge
है ना सूट थे आप क्योंकि ऐसे sessions आगे भी करने हैं बात वंकनस Rauf service निशन when she Rauf serving specialization dairy. So Rauf sir, अगर इस विचो ये for example बकर New Zealand, Denmark, Ireland, Switzerland ये ले सिमन मुल्कन हंस काच करान यम countries यथन 40% ये like dependence GDP agriculture पे वारियान राय तिमन industry पे या Switzerland bankan पे या तिमन चीजन पे नहीं they are dairy countries ये तिम dairy products the allied products ये तात पे sustain गसान अगर इस विषय मौसमी लिहाज तिथि pasture land थी land availability तिथि ये अगर हम देखें dairy products like आत्मजन कुता future शसून इस हेकवा ये explore कर mutton consumption कुता शेस इस हेकवा ये कर poultry consumption कुता शेस इस हेकवा आत पे focus कर तम पत leather sector से कुता शेस जुड़ित ये पन्ने society मजन leather tanning जैसी चीज छा इस environmentally viable तो तम पत ये dairy products दूध है या इसके allied products जो है how do you see this situation इस हेकवा आत्मजन self sustain कर
The Animal Husbandry Department, we have always maintained that this department holds the secret of economic revival of Kashmir in its belly. I have said this sentence n number of times, anywhere I got an opportunity to say. But then, there is the will is not there. The will to do it is not there. Especially in the 90s, when we did the dairy in somewhere in 1998. We were the first dairy plant that came up in Kashmir, and we initiated. We had to face a lot of hurdles. We had to really face a lot of hurdles, but we have moved. It is slow. It is slow process because of the conditions that we had to go through. But then we have moved. We are improving, but not at the pace that New Zealand or Australia is moving. We are lacking technical intervention. We are lacking financial intervention. People are still yet to understand what dairying is all about. Thoda sa push go Amul World they had a say with the government. When we try to tell the government that this is what is to be done, they didn't take it seriously. But the moment Amul people came in, and when they said, the government was forced to at least think over it. That was an advantage. We have a very good prospects in dairy. We will achieve that what has to be. But then for that, we need working conditions. At this time, we are not able to go to villages to collect milk. The problem is that we are not able to go to villages to collect the milk. We have got lockdowns, and we have got now, because of this COVID, we have to be very careful from which area we are getting the milk. So, but things are happening. Milk production has increased, but we need to establish backward integration needs to be strengthened. The forward integration needs to be strengthened. Things are moving, not the way they should, but okay. But yes, this is a very, very prospective area. Animal husbandry is a very prospective area. Fisheries is a very prospective area. Poultry and sheep, very prospective areas. If the New Zealanders can do it, if the Australians can do it, we can do it also. But then we require will. We have been always trying to tell the government to make this a thrust area. Make animal husbandry a thrust area. But they had their own. I have come to know that animal husbandry posting was always supposed to be a punishment posting. Just minister of Queen Lagos was animal husbandry, but they didn't know it was the main item. So, but things will improve. And we can do it. The faster we do it, the better it is.
अगर इस वुचो गवर्नमेंट मजीद उसके बगैर युस ऐसी गामस मज पनुन बोय छ बेन छ या गरवल छ क्योंकि तिमन छ जमीन ते अवेलेबल बट ते छ या सो ग्रेजिंग या पास्चर या वनान छ तिमन खतर कुता वायबल छ अगर तिम कट पालन या यथे कन गाव छ या बेकिंग कुता तिमन खतर वायबल जरूरी नहीं है कि बोड बोड डेयरी फार्म गस आसुन मगर अगर हर त्रेमिस चूरमिस गरस मज अख या ज गाव आसुन ये कुता वायबल छ तिमन खतर
No. I told you that we had a program of making a village house, a economical viable entity. It was a very nice program that we had. And in that we had envisaged that we should give 2 or 3 cows, 5 or 6 goats, a small poultry unit, which will, even the house that we are having in, we could cultivate and grow mushrooms and silkworms. So we have lost the silkworm industry totally to somebody else, but it was our industry. जैसे आप हमको लेदर की बात कर रहे हो, leather was our industry. Dr. Saab will vote for it. Leather was our industry, but today we have lost it. We have lost it to Jalandhar, I believe. We have lost it to Madras, I believe. But then हो जाएगा. But अगर I see disturbance गैसे we would have improved a lot. But then these are thrust areas. तो एक चीज है कि we have always tried to tell the government कि आप एक thrust area लो, कि भाई इस area को develop करना है. I think last industrial policy, dairying was taken as a thrust area. We have to do that like that.
Inshallah. So thank you so much, Rauf Saab, for your these comments. इजहान से मेरा सवाल है, इजहान क्या आप हमें बता सकते हैं कि जो secondary industry है related to the fruits like jams and juices and all that, so उसका कितना मतलब बड़ा मार्केट है कश्मीर में? क्या ये अनटैप्ड मार्केट है और क्या किया जा सकता है इससे रिलेटेड कि इसको इम्प्रूव किया जाए या इसको एक्सपैंड किया जाए?
If we talk about food processing and value addition, ये बहुत ही ज़्यादा, it's very untapped. It's an untapped market. Around not even 1% of the fruit that we produce is processed. And if you look in all the developed countries, most of the produce that comes is processed to add its value, and उसको फिर market किया जाता है. The problem here is that if you talk about Kashmir locally, जो taste है for our own products, that is very less. We are used to different. We would have a Kisan jam. We would prefer a Kisan jam than an indigenous made apple jam. We'd not prefer our own. We'd prefer. We'd buy juices from outside. And we'd not prefer juices, pure juices which are made here. So एक double availability का भी issue है. There is an issue with the availability of these products. काफी ज़्यादा untapped market है. And when I spoke about the numbers, I said that we produce around 2.3 million tons of apples, and only 30% is A grade, 30 to 40%. And 60% that remains, 60-70%, that is actually meant for processing. So there is a huge market for processing, but capital intervention चाहिए, technological interventions चाहिए. We need those interventions so as we can tap these markets, and we need support for developing. For example, if we talk about this, हमारा in Kashmir, we talk about Shopian and Sopor. They are the apple bowls of Kashmir. I've seen in the world, they say that the apple bowl of the world is Bolzano in Italy, and when you go there, they have the local people, and they have everything. They cherish everything that they make from apples. They drink apple tea. They have apple jams. They have they make n number of products from apples, and the people love it. So that spirit needs to come in Kashmiri people, that okay, this is our product that we need to, even if we process it into a number of products, we need to consume them, and ek enthusiasm chahiye. And moreover, domestically also, there is a lot of market for the processed apples, processed fruits and vegetables. So we're trying to intervene. We're trying to, for example, for our companies now going into juices, we're going into unprocessed juices, 100% pure juices, which are no added sugar, no added preservatives. And if you talk about the quality of the produce, Kashmir has the highest bricks. The Kashmiri apple has the highest bricks in the world. For example, if you have an apple juice in the European countries, it's not sweet. But if you are able to make an apple juice from Kashmiri apples, you will not have to add anything anyway, because it is naturally very sweet. So if people have a preference for sweet, tastier juice, so we can make it available very easily. So food processing is a huge sector where we need investments, technological interventions, and interventions in changing the taste of people so that the demand for these products comes. And locally as well, small districts में अगर ये industry इतनी untapped है, for example, the C grade and the B grade produce that every farmer has, if he is able to process it, make it into jams, jellies, purees, pulps, and juices, if he's able to sell them, then it will increase, the value addition will be huge for them. Right now, they are forced to dispose of this produce at no value. So the value addition to the farmer is zero. So if the farmers work towards it, and we as a society promise to take up, buy those products from farmers and develop taste for those products for farmers, then it's going to be a win-win situation for everybody.
Thank you so very much, Ihsan. It was very, very informative. I'm going to come back to you on these things. Venkat guys Mubin sir, Mubin sir, I am taking up a very different topic. You can like you're filled with information about these. The exposure level. अगर इस विषय ना 5th August, it was a lockdown. अख चीज उस change को क्योंकि अभी जो हम देखते हैं ये like it's a digital world. We live in the digital world. Sorry कि ये online गसान. The e-commerce is which you should सारे खुद growing industry और like पूरी दुनिया से हम cover करना कश्मीर कोई exception नहीं है 5 अगस्त तक यम e-commerce industries आस बज for example Flipkart की बात करें Amazon की बात करें ये थी Myntra तिमो कर delivery to Kashmir बंद ठीक या even वंकनस तिश ये चीज वारिया खत्म ये इस कशीर हंस कच करान e-commerce like इस पे कभी कोई बात हुई है कि यम internal players छ at least यम essential commodities छ या FMCG यूज छ ऐसे तथ पेटन गैस कि यूथ e-commerce है शुरू या कोई ऐसा centralized system कि चलो ऐसे restrictions आसान ऐसे lockdowns आसान तिम करन फोन ही तो फोनस पेट वात तिम निशन यम चीज जो ये basic essentials हैं ये कैसा है as a business model अगर न span कश्मीर वाइड अक यूनिट गैस खड़ा इस है कोई block wise थे या district wise थे कुछ ऐसा Have the business people or the corporates in Kashmir thought about it, and how is it as an industry?
You know, one company I know of is that Kashmir Box who did it. You know, e-commerce thing. He started it.
But they're selling it outside.
Yeah, selling it outside. You know, but it can be replicated for inside also. Yeah. In the sense now, for example, they have lately because of this COVID, you know. Indulge themselves in giving food to different people within Srinagar because they have tied up with organizations like Athrut and all that so that they can they are collecting funds from outside and distributing the food products and all. But I came to understand today only that there is one Kashmiri company, I don't know who are the promoters. It's a startup and it is called as Grocery, okay. Groxery. They are making a app and which will be they are going to, put it together, the FCMG things, and then they can be, distributed within Kashmir. I think it is a model which can be done. There is no doubt about that. For example, here, for example, in Malaysia, I have a restaurant here, and it is, during the COVID, the only business we did was that restaurant business because it was deliveries through number of platforms, 5, 7 platforms were there where people could order, and they in turn will put us an order, and we will, give home deliveries. Those people will only do the home delivery, we will only prepare. So at least that was a survival point. Same thing. I don't think there should be a problem, but at the same time, because of unfortunately no internet, for a long time there was stoppage of internet. They consider every Kashmiri to be misusing that facility, and result will be if somebody invests in all these things or goes into this sector, he will still have no sales because there will be no internet. Now, that part, I don't know how we will be able to counter it in the sense that I had thought in 2016 when I discussed with certain people that in particularly regarding to education, I don't know whether we can do it in e-commerce. In education, they said that you can bypass it in the sense that, you know, for example, I have some study material, you know, I download it, and then in a locality through intranet, I can distribute it in a mohalla intranet. We does not need internet. You know, there is it is something like this, which I lately, when I came out of prison, and somebody told me in Delhi, "Have you seen Ardugul?" I said, "What?" I had not, because when I was in Kashmir, nobody was seeing that Ardugul. I said, how you people saw this Ardugul? They said, you know, we were downloading it in Delhi and then taking it to Kashmir and then distributing it in Kashmir, and they were seeing during this lockdown Ardugul. Now this is what is people have done it. People have done it. This is where Kashmiri people have taken out ways. मतलब Hindustani port या Pakistani port या कहीं जुगाड़ ऐसा करो. They have done it. So this is because then they could do it for Ardugul, they can do it for this thing also. You know that they will some young person who knows about IT. I don't know much about IT. I'm an old type of businessman. So you know he could come out with something like this, but there's a lot of potential. E-commerce is the way up, is the way out. You see, for example, now in our handicraft, for example, I have a collection of a friend who deals in very high-end carpets, and he sells only through e-commerce. He does not have a shop. He has only e-commerce, where a carpet is costing $50,000 or $100,000. He's selling through e-commerce. So my point is, there is a field like that, but whether from Kashmir, because I can understand, because I talked to somebody who has knowledge about Kashmir box. They said there is a lot of difficulty because of non-internet. You know, so this is where we can't help it. Nobody can help it because it is all under control of the government.
I realize, बिल्कुल ये वारिया informative point. मगर अथ मज़ छना ये दपान छना युस ते वनु जुगाड़ कि necessity is the mother of invention. ये ओस ये फिर थोड़ा strange कि ये ओस ऐस इफ्तियार ते गसान मस्जिदों पे home delivery कि अगर आप नहीं कर सकते थे, if you didn't want to venture out, you just had to make a call and those people would deliver iftar at your doorsteps. ये तास की मस्जिद ये स्ते England इसमें.
Same thing है.
Right, वो कॉल पे लाते हैं. That means अगर नु तो इंटरनेट अवेलेबल छु तो आप कॉल से ला सकते हैं. दयम चीज ये क्या जनरली यूसेस ये छु वचन यूसेस हेको कशीर मस तेम की थोड़ा टाइप ऑफ मॉडल रेप्लिकेट करित. ये किम यम ति टेक अवेज छु नई बनावन. तिमन हिंद क्या आसा तिम छु ब्रोशर्स पन इन सोजान कि मेनिशन छु ये प्रोडक्ट ये पिज्जा है, ये चीज है, ये इतनी रेट का है. मेश पत तेम टोटल पेवन फोन करूं कि मुझे ये प्रोडक्ट नंबर चाहिए.
That is alternate.
है ना कि मुझे ऑलरेडी पता है कि मैं शुन इंटरनेट अवेलेबल की है मगर मैंने
that can be a localized thing, you know.
Right.
Localized thing. Now, you know,
Absolutely.
for example, yeah, you are right, but at the same time you have to understand in Kashmir we are not allowed to move. So the point is that, you know, I am not saying that this is a deterrent, but you are not allowed to move out. You are not allowed to deliver, you know, this is going to be a lot of problem, but there can be a way out. There can be a way out. Somebody has to take the lead and do it. He will do it, and these things can come up, and home delivery, you know, is everything. Here almost everything is home delivery in the sense. And during COVID, we saw it. Everything was home delivery. You know, now, I don't. If they did not have home delivery, I think they would have no food at all on the table. As such.
Rob सब शायद सवाल इमोशनी अख्तलान तो.
Rosab, you'll have to unmute. I'm sorry. No.
That is one lifestyle that is going to change after the COVID. This COVID has taught us how to do e-commerce, and it has really given credit to e-commerce. There were a lot of companies here who tried to supply essentials on home delivery, but because the scale was so small, they didn't continue. But then e-commerce, home delivery, that is going to be a very important sector of economy. Very important sector of economy. Adding to Dr. Saab's things, I think I also somewhere in 2008 or something like that. I had a franchisee. I was a franchisee of a company, Hughes International, and they were into education, online education through satellite dish. And I was supposed to spread a net of satellites, these dish antennas, and from there make classrooms. But then again, the disturbances that in the village level or in the tehsil level, we did try to establish 2 or 3, it didn't come up. But that is one sector that really needs to be looked into. We can keep an eye on that, not neglect it, don't throw it into the dustbin. That's the way it's going to be now.
रोब साहब, आप इसी से रिलेटेड एक सवाल है, क्योंकि हम बात कर रहे हैं कि हम क्या कर सकते हैं, किन किन चीज़ों पे हम ध्यान रख सकते हैं. सो अगर हम स्टार्टअप्स की बात करें तो जो यंग कश्मीरीज है उनके पास एक्सपर्टीज है, IT skills and all that, they can come up with a startup and they can do these things, but they will need some help, right? So बैंक का भी मुबीन साहब ने बताया कि बैंक में क्या issues है. So जो बड़े players हैं हमारे big businesses, do they have some kind of a a mechanism through which they can help these startups, can have a liaison with these smaller players?
Obviously, they, even big companies like us, we are looking into venture capital, participating in venture capital with the startups. But then, that is the way it has to go. I fully agree with Mubin Saab that instead of banking, it is better to go with a venture capital and help a startup to come up. Yes, it is a possibility, and it will happen. It will happen. It has to happen. That's one of the ways that everybody will grow. Always it will be like that. But then at present time, slightly bleak, but in the future when things will improve, this is what will happen. These are the changes that are expected to happen.
Absolutely. Mubin Saab has a question, magar usse pehle Rauf Saab, Toshu Mubarak to itroha power.
I spoke power Mubarak. Thank you. Mubin, Mubin Saab, talking about power, yeah, this is a very neglected area by local entrepreneurs. I think we must really do something about this.
I have an answer for that for you,
Yeah.
in the power sector, because I actually took some investors from Malaysia and China to put 3 projects, for power projects in Kashmir. When they saw the whole thing, they analyzed everything, it was viable and everything. And then, end of the day, they told me, okay, what is the agreement like? Who will buy us this power? So the agreement was, there was no guarantee. The only person there who has that guarantee is the person who's operating 2 units, who is a gentleman from Tangma. Yes. And it is only because of the factor that he has got the power purchase agreement from the Power Trading Corporation of India. You see, because these gentlemen who went with me for investment there, they said, who is going to be, we said, the government of Jammu and Kashmir is the PDD department. When they saw their credit rating, international credit rating, they said, no. We will not, they will never give us payment, and it will be an unviable thing. So, the question is, you have to correct that system there, that somebody has to guarantee it, a bank guarantee that if I produce power, it will be bought and I will be paid. They will buy it, but they will not pay it. This is what is the problem between PDD and your other government organizations which are producing power, So that is one part of it. Another part is, which about the startups. There has to be a model of, I don't know whether, they must be knowing that, there was WeWork, although it has sort of become bankrupt. That WeWork model of sharing of office space, sharing of office space by these startups. And in there you could have mentorship of businessmen or people who know about certain things, and there they can do this thing, and so that they can get the helping hand what to do about it. These WeWork type of things should come in Kashmir for startups. Then only it can become a success story there. Besides the fact
Absolutely. I do agree with you on that. Yuhi os mein khayal Tahir Sobun te maqsad ki us big players sun chi tim kuta encourage the bag shikara sun startups ya lucky players chi kyunki timen sori pe pannis panis pet karno aur ek bari hame pata hai hamari uncertain conditions hain wo jo loss dekhte hain tam se chi kamar pitan Ashtreen yet platforms kermit ki yet support gasan tind ventures gasan support collaborations gasan ya ithe gasan tim train. I think you should cheese yet in big established corporates chi timan chu maybe that cheeses must thoda sa ye karun. So now I'm turning to Izhan. Izhan, my question abhi isi cheez se related hai कि आपने एक बात कही थी कि ये this सूट या बाकी इमन चीजें हस्ताक्षर से करा ये अभी भी एक luxury है हमारी society में, right? So अगर हमें अपनी सोसाइटी में या अगर हमें अपनी कम्युनिटी में मनी सप्लाई इस टाइम पे बढ़ानी है because we know we are in a way drained, अगर ऐसी बढ़ावन छ मनी सप्लाई ये इन प्रोडक्ट्स की कंजम्पशन हम कैसे बढ़ा सकते हैं पेन लुकन में किसने बढ़ाओ इस चीज कंजम्पशन क्योंकि ऐसे विचार की ओत्र which में अख वीडियो जहां एप्पल ट्रेडर्स कह रहे थे कि ऐसे नेबर शहत इवन पनिन लुक अगर ये 60 रुपए है ना हम लोगों का कुछ चल जाता सो इसमें क्या किया जा सकता है you have to answer. Sorry. Okay. Now.
The biggest problem with this is that there are two aspects of this. One is economic and दूसरा is taste जो है हमारे लोगों का. Economically अगर हम देखें जो हमारी supply chains है, we have to work on cost reduction. जो हमारे cost of production जो हमारे Kashmiri apples, when we talk about Kashmiri apples, it's much higher. Why is it higher? Because technological interventions, capital costs जो हमारा अभी भी primitive ways of growing है हमारे जो हमारे growers के पास उतना knowledge नहीं है उतने उनके पास equipment नहीं है we don't have that equipment for them that would reduce the cost of production. Now what we are trying to do is we are trying to reduce the cost of production by 70% by following new growing techniques and by giving our growers new technological interventions, spraying schedules, spraying machinery. So it is at one aspect of the supply chain that we need to lower down our costs. The major problem that happens is when our growers are selling at a price of 50-60 rupees, but अगर आप अभी भी देखें अभी COVID में what happened is grower was selling at 40-50 rupees, but Kashmiri people were still getting it at 150 to 200 rupees a kg. Why? Because जो हमारी इसमें supply chain है, जो हमारे traders involved हैं, अलग-अलग level पे, they were not promoting our product in the right way. That is the biggest problem. जो if we are selling to Delhi, if you look at the per retail price, it is same as when you are buying in Kashmir. But it's not like our growers are selling at a much higher price. It's like the supply chain, जो traders बीच में हैं, middlemen जो हैं, they are selling, exaggerating the prices for the customer. Now when we are trying to develop a taste for a new product, for example, it's not a new product for Kashmiri apples or not a new product for Kashmir, but good quality Kashmiri apples are a new product for Kashmir market. When you are trying to develop the taste, when you are trying to develop that in the market, so we need to promote the products first. The prices should be competitive, so that when people are used to it in the beginning and then they start, they're habitual to it and they start buying it. So what happened is when we started our startups, when we talk about startups, they started home deliveries of apples. Of course, the logistic costs were high. So, but in the beginning they were doing well. But when the product reached the customer, so the cost of reaching the customer that was reaching, it was not the customer thought that is why I said in the beginning only that we have to be competitive, and we don't have to be competitive only in our own state. We have to be globally competitive everywhere. Quality and price, these two things we have to match every time. So if we want our industry to flourish, जो local consumption है वो बढ़े, our growers have to think on technological interventions and reduce the cost of production and make good quality apples available and improve our supply chain and make the good quality apples available to local people so that their taste, their habitual and their increase their taste for our local products.
Thank you so much, Izhan. That was really informative. When you Mubin service kun, I realized कि ऐसे को time वारिया, so अब हम wrap करने की कोशिश करेंगे. मगर फिलहाल Mubin service का तरश एक significant question because तुशु chamber से तन रूद में जुड़े तो आपको नजर है इन चीजों पर. Last bit Mubin service. Number one, Zah युस ये chamber शी या business classes श आपकी associations हैं, आपके groups हैं. तो liaison karan economic experts, business experts, या market experts and say कि like trends क्या change हो रही है, ऐसे कितने पैस modulate पनुन business या market करुन so that is rozo up to the mark competition. दयम चीज कि ये unity आपस में associations ही कितनी देखते हैं हम कश्मीर में छा. तो बे सबसे पहले मुझे बताएं आप क्योंकि ये it's a volley of questions. जैसा अर्टिस्ट में यम साथ मसला थोड़ा गो आप लोगों ने बोला था कि तुम करो self sufficiency. कि ऐसा करो when sorry कि तो when रोज इस पांसी इस गसो रोजों ने dependent कि हम self reliance की तरफ आएंगे. तना अगर इस विशो से reliance बड़े वारे कम गए न कहीं. तब क्या यम structural challenges आए होते हैं?
Actually, to tell you very frankly, because I was heading the chamber for 3 years, from 2006 to 2009. I did try myself to bring all of them together. Unfortunately, we have a problem there that everybody wants that we are the bigger one, you are smaller one, this sort of thing, and it is actually in our political leadership also, and within the business community also, unfortunately, that that was a deterrent, and we did try, and number of times, we got together, particularly when this economic blockade was done by Jammu. That time, I remember everybody came under the same roof, and we fought it out with the Jammu people at that time together. And once that thing, we won in a way, and then it all pastored out again. The point is, yes, you are very much right that we do bring experts and all, but we unfortunately don't have the resources in this institution to have something like, to do analysis, to do papers, to have people working on something like this, which are done by other organizations in India. And because our base is smaller in comparison, our businessmen, unfortunately, to tell you very frankly, they're not ready to pay the fees. And they are ready to pay in PhD Chamber of Commerce 20,000, 30,000 per year, or I don't know, 5,000, but they're not ready to pay for 1,500, 2,000 to the local chamber. And the result is that you can't do all these things what we were thinking about, and yes, we would, take help from businessmen themselves to get knowledge on the ground. And that is how we will prepare papers, not based on what now is being done, that you have to have a PhD student or PhDs to make a documentation, and that is very important, because without documentation, when you go into to a place, you cannot convince the other side without a proper documentation, records, and all that. There's one part of it, and yes. It's a problem that we have a lot of business organizations, and even lately, before I was taken behind bars, we had created a one platform called the JKSECC, Jammu and Kashmir Socio-Economic Coordination Committee. So but we when we were fighting the GST, we were together, and once that fizzled out, they all split over, and it remained there. But the two main organizations, came out. That is the KCCI and the Traders Federation came out of that organization. So the point is maybe that the present leadership felt that they are being overshadowed by somebody else there, so they had their ego problems and all. Maybe that because of that. But yes, that is a needed for now. Self-sufficiency. You see, when we had that economic blockade from Jammu, that galvanized us into doing something, in a way that why should we be dependent on this thing? But it went only to the extent that we were doing trade. I will tell you a very simple, I have told in meetings, but it has not come into the public as such, but it's being a public forum now. I don't feel that I should keep it away from it. That in 2008, what actually broke Jammu was because of this particular thing, that we got help from Punjab. They told us, we will bypass Jammu. We will bypass Jammu and do trade with you directly. We set up people in the business community in Kashmir to trade with Punjab. And Jammu came to know about it. Jammu is basically was dependent on trade from Kashmir. Trade from Kashmir. If today, that is why after that, Jammu did not use that weapon against us, economic blockade, because they know they are going to suffer more about it. So this is right, self-sufficiency, but yes, number one. Number two, which you did not cover, is skill development. Skill development, and attach it with productivity. All these people, gentlemen who are here, who have factories here, they will tell you the biggest problem in our Kashmir is productivity of our labor. And because we had also factories, about 5 of them, which we closed down subsequently, we had also problem of productivity. Productivity is the main thing, and also this productivity is not only limited to our factory worker, but if our people will get trained, let us say a plumber is there, a simple plumber. Why in Europe and America and other things, a plumber is considered a good job? Because per hour he gets a very good skilled labor, because he's skilled in that job, and we have to upgrade our skills in all these sectors so that our Kashmiri people will go into these jobs. See, our unfortunate problem has been now we are dependent on these things also on outsiders. If you upgrade the skill, and the result will be this is a message. It is not every job is very important, and you have to respect that job. And question is, if even a plumber, even an electrician, if his skill level is high, he will be able to earn in an hour what you have rates in Europe or other places. So that these people will go into these jobs, Kashmiri people, and we will not have outsiders. Same thing now. If you see our villages, our farms, I was surprised. I was doing actually. We have now some 2 or 3 platforms, which has been created, where I am speaking almost every day for 1 hour, 2 hours. Like food security. I was surprised when I saw on the internet, for example, rice. Our productivity. Our productivity is 1.2 tons per hectare. And what is the world average? 10 tons. Same thing in maize, same thing in wheat, same thing in oil seeds. Imagine, our land is very, very good. It can produce the same thing, 10 tons, and you have 1 point, so 10 times. So that means a villager. I was seeing just now on Facebook, one of my friends had written a PhD in Urdu is doing farming. Why? No harm. If he gets 10 tons per hectare, he will be more rich than anybody else. Why not? Why not? But question is productivity. Question is skilled labor. So we have to convert our people into that sector. That whether it is in factory, whether he is in the village, this productivity now also in for example, in horticulture. We have a walnut. We have also walnut, which can be only done for only fruit, not for the wood. It's an Italian breed. You can do it. We can increase.
They're doing it, sir.
Production. So my point is, we have to change, and this is the time to change, and this is the opportunity to change. That is it.
Izan, you want to say something?
Yeah, I would like to add to it what Mubin Saab said, that I give an example of apples, example of rice. So I would like to give an example of apples. So basically, when I said that we are number 7th in the world in terms of production, but we are number 2nd in the world in terms of area under production. What does that mean? That means the same thing, that we are producing around 10 to 15 tons of apples and pears and plums per hectare. But the world average, if you look at the world average, it's 40 to 50 tons. And in countries like New Zealand, it goes up to 80 tons and 110 tons in some varieties per hectare. So what we need to do is we need to bring in those systems, what actually we are doing, and not only in apples. We have cherries, European cherries, if you see, they are sold for 500 to 1500 a kg. Our cherries are sold for 30 rupees a kg. What is the reason? We have not upgraded our technologies, we have not upgraded our varieties, we have not upgraded our skills in people, and we have not upgraded the knowledge. The knowledge base is very important. We have not upgraded our knowledge, and we have not adapted the ways what other countries have looked at them and what they are doing, and we have not adapted it. Now we are trying to do it. We have, alhamdulillah, been able to produce around 40 to 50 tons with these high density varieties. We have also grown these European cherries, which is very successful now. And what we are trying to do is we are trying to grow flat peaches. We are trying to grow nectarines. We are trying to grow all the varieties of pears that are grown all around the world. And let me tell you that our land and our climate is the best in the world to grow these fruits, tropical fruits. And we have been able to get the best of the results which we have got all around the world because of our altitude and because of our day and night temperature difference and because of our other micro and macro climatic conditions. So we need to actually work towards it, and we need to adapt to it, so that even if you look at the horticulture sector, if it is the productivity is 10 tons and we can increase it to 50 tons with 70% less cost of production, that means we can increase, in the whole supply chain, we can increase the value by 5 to 10 times. If it's a 10,000 crore industry, it will become a 50,000 crore industry. But we need to pay people and technological interventions to do that.
I'll give a simple example. When I came to Singapore in 1990, I was not a carpet dealer. I was selling cars in Kashmir, and I took everything from Kashmir which could be exported. And one of the things was apple. When I went to the local fruit market here, they told me the apple looks good, it is crunchy, it is all that, but what is the packaging? And are you doing, that vaccine in this? I didn't know anything about it. I telephoned the person in the fruit industry, and he told me, we don't do vaccines. This is 1990, yeah? Packaging, we have wooden packs all still. So what could I do? I said, this item I cannot touch because it is not possible. But now we have upgraded, but not still to that level, which is international.
Yes, what happens is, I would like to add to it about our apple industry. What other, Himachal, for example, is India's 20% of apples, Kashmir is 80% of apples, but Himachal took to these technological interventions much before us. So they started international grading and packing much before us. Now we have been able to, now we are grading internationally, and we also sell as per specs. We have our own brand. We have our brands working for Kashmir apple, but this is happening very slowly. Still, the mindset needs to change in all the Kashmiri growers and everybody related to the industry, traders and cold store owners, that we have to follow international quality of standards. We have to follow international protocols to be able to be globally competitive. Our cost of production is 70% higher than whatever they grow in all around the world. So we sell our apples, we sell the most, even if we fetch the best of the market rates, but what the return that trickles down to the grower, it is the lowest, because his cost of production is the highest. So we need to be internationally competitive, we need to change all these things.
So since we have very less time now, like we are at the end, so I will ask the last question to Rob Saab. Rob Saab से सवाल होगा कि तय वो शुरुआत इस मज़न प्रोग्राम के इसकी जो खुदा सोब ने रहम के अच्छी उनके सस्टेन करा ते वाइन यस उनके साथ करंट सिचुएशन छ वन फ्यूचरस में क्या गस इस कम इकदाम तुलो सु वुचो वन ब्रोट कुन मगर विंकस यस करंट सिचुएशन छ अथ छ मतलब विंकस लड़ान सो गवर्नमेंट ऑफ इंडिया फॉर एग्जांपल कोरक पैकेज या इसका मनरेगा छितिम पोस विंकस करान न दिवान पोस सो दैट यस कंजम्पशन साइड छ सु बढ़ तम से गस इकोनॉमी रिवाइव तो बसान गवर्नमेंट स्टिमुलस पैकेज गवर्नमेंट ऑफ इंडिया अमुक असर रोज कशीर पे मतलब कशीर गस अमुक पॉजिटिव का इफेक्ट
Slightly purchasing power will increase. It is expected to increase because of inflow of funds. But ज़्यादा रोज ने अमुक effect किए हैं.
Short term.
रोज ने effect किए. You want to say something?
No, I said the effect is going to be short term. The liquidity that they've increased, it's going to be short term.
Very short term. Very short term.
Yeah,
We have to look inwards for our economic revival. We have to look inwards. We have to be more productive. We have to be more productive. One thing I would like to add, and add to Mubin Saab's things that, one of the reasons what I have found is one of the reasons for unemployment is that there is no sync between the skill that industry wants and the skill that is produced by the educational institutions. There is a lot of difference. There's a lot of gap in there. What industry wants is not being produced by the educational institutions, and with the result, the unemployment goes high up. एक तो ये एक problem है, ये एक very serious problem. We'll have to look into it. Then the second thing is that any industry who has to grow, ये चुरुसु culture कश्मीर मज़न की the research people research बहुत अच्छा हुआ है. तो मेरी personal interaction educational institutions के साथ है, research institutes के साथ है, काफी अच्छा research हुआ है. But the dispensation of that research to the ground level is not there. The extension activity is not there. Our scientists have really worked hard. We have been able to achieve very good productive breed in in cows, but it has not trickled down to the farmer level. Because one of the reasons was the scientists could not go to the farms. They could not interact with because of the disturbance. They could not, and unluckily, our farmers also did not approach the scientists. That is one gap we need to look at. These are the things that we need to look at basically. I fully agree with Mubin Saab ki yes, there is synchronization nahi ho rahi hai. Something is missing.
What is the way out? अगर आप एक मिनट में कहें, क्योंकि अशिपाई अगर ज्यादा ये स्टिमुलस पैकेज का हम कहेंगे, उसका सबसे ज्यादा नुकसान है कि इन्फ्लेशन रेट्स बढ़ जाएंगी, काफी ज्यादा नुकसान उससे होगा. लोकल सस्टेनेंस कितने बढ़ाओ इस? If in 1 minute, what do we expect from the society? How do we change our lives?
We have to develop entrepreneurship. We have to develop entrepreneurship. We have to develop entrepreneurship everywhere. Even a research person, he should act like an entrepreneur. I do not mind. Let a research person, whatever good research he has done, let him charge it, let him sell it. We don't mind. Let a person who wants that research buy it. We don't mind, as long as the productivity increases. See, of late, we have come out with a breeding policy, much needed breeding policy. And I told the veterinarian doctors who were considering themselves as idle, I told them, this is a golden chance for you. Why don't you open breeding farms? This is a very big venture area for you. Why don't you open breeding farms? But वो एंटरप्रेन्योरशिप हमने बनाई नहीं है, वो बच्चों को हमने एंटरप्रेन्योरशिप सिखाई नहीं है, हमने उनका वो मेंटल माइंड नहीं बनाया है. जब हम बच्चे को पढ़ाते हैं कि आप बन गवर्नमेंट मुलाजिम, मैं गवर्नमेंट मुलाजिम बनूं. At every place I have been telling them, why don't you teach them entrepreneurship? Even a technocrat, he wants to be a government mulazim. A technocrat being a government mulazim, why? What for? That is one thing I want the education system to change here, is that you have to, education people have to do something, who work closely with industry.
Absolutely, I do agree. और मैं बासान आज like आज go extend the वारिया ज़्यादा usually शेस्तामा एक सी घंटा स्तामा, तो I think we should call it a wrap. The crux of this all the panel discussion was कि अगर इसमें क्या नस्ते बशो कि practical implication युस्त ऐसनिशन इल्म चीमा युस्त ऐसनिश तहकीक चीमा तमिश practical implication चेस विशन सो कितकन है कोइस different तरीकन मस तमिक फ़ायदे कितकन है कोइस पन्ने समाज पन्ने community पन्ने society वेत तम मज़ीद तो वो चेस कि यम ऐस different sectors तम चेस tap करने ज़रूरत जरूरी नहीं है कि हर एक इंसान कर बड़ बार फैक्ट्री तो बड़ इंडस्ट्री खड़ा ऐसे को लकट कॉटेज लेवल पे चीज पन खड़ा कर और जो चलेंगे और ये तो वुचू सारे एक्सपर्ट हो वनो कि पोटेंशियल कूता कशीर मजन जैम या ये गवर्नमेंट इंडस्ट्री इंडस्ट्री यथ पे स्टैप हो कर डेयरी इंडस्ट्री हंदिस बारस मज कर कत ई कॉमर्स वुकस पर्सपेक्टिव बेस तीज पन प्रोडक्ट्स तथ वैल्यू बढ़ावन तमिच कंजम्पशन बढ़ावन सो दैट सानि सोसाइटी मज रोज मनी सप्लाई बरकरार बे वैक्यानुक वक्त यह मुश्किल वक्त इंशाल्लाह यथी वक्त आमत तम मज द्रामत खुदा सद कर्म सत यम मज नेरो बस कोशिश ये कर अकिस पलजो अकिस साथ दिमो तो खुदायस मंगो सह कड़ यम मुसीबत मज इंशाल्लाह तो यथी सतन सान पैनलिस्टन हुंद वारिया ज़्यादा शुक्रिया हमें उम्मीद है तो आसो वारिया आज मज त लोगमुत और शायद सैटिस्फैक्शन त आसो कि तो वातनो पन कथ टू द सोसाइटी तो पन्ने सोसाइटी पन्न लुकन त उम्मीद कि तो आसो पसंद आमुत पन फीडबैक दियो इंशाल्लाह सन कोशिश रोज के सानो दोबारा त फ्यूचरस मज त पन यम पैनलिस्ट स्पेशल डिस्कशंस बे इन डेप्थ वातो क्योंकि सकाफत अख चीज सस्टेन कर सन साख थ जिंद इंशाल्लाह इंशाल्लाह उम्मीद कि तुह त करू अत पे करो अत चीज पे बे फोकस करने कोशिश तो वन आपसे भी अलविदा मांगते हैं और पन्न व्यूअर्सन तिश दफा पन्न दुआन मजन थो याद रूजू अल्लाह ताला सवाल अस्सलाम वालेकुम।